Whenever I'm asked if I have any dietary requirements prior to some do, I always answer yes, food. But still, even I have cut right down on red meat, even bacon. Eggs are now bad for us too, we're told. No wonder veganism is in vogue. Supermarkets are trying to make it easier for us to avoid animal products entirely, and so do high street fast food and bakery outlets. Cutting out meat, dairy and sticking to a plant-based diet is one of the most effective choices a person can make to reduce the suffering of animals, help the planet and improve personal health. Say the growing hordes of adherents to the vegan faith. Win, win, win then. Panel, I'm going to try it, even though I live with two men who open the fridge I have stocked full of healthy, crunchy green fruit and veg and slam it shut and complain there is no eating food. I'm on my own at home, so who's going to join me? Can we get Greggs onto the Greggs vegan sausage rolls?
Given the fact that I start my day with chocolate every day, my favourite foods are cheese. I love Sunday roast dinners. I will not be converting to veganism.
Vegan.
Oh, is it? Oh, you might have got me then.
No animal products in
But what I feel very strongly about is choice. And if somebody chooses to be vegan, fair play to them. If that's what they want to do and that's what they want to eat, you know, go for it. I do have a slight issue with some aspects of the vegan movement because it is very aggressive and I think that they seek to intimidate. And I think if you want to get people to move to veganism, not a problem, do it through education rather than intimidation. And I've been turned off the vegan movement because of things that I've seen, so bullying, harassment, vandalism, attacks on farmers, those kind of things. I know that what those people want to do is raise awareness of veganism and convert people like me, but they're turning me off.
Maybe.
And my final point is I do find the vegan movement quite confusing in parts because I don't quite understand why people that are so anti-eating meat products feel a need to replicate the look, feel and texture of meat products with their alternate things. So if you don't want to eat chicken nuggets, don't eat chicken nuggets. Why do you feel the need, though, to create vegan chicken nuggets and vegan sausage? I just think it's a bit weird.
Well, it's funny you say that, Michelle, because many people claim that vegan food isn't as nice, so we decided to do a little experiment earlier to discover if Michelle is right or not. A warm welcome to Rachel's Kitchen. I hope you're hungry because today, Greg and Michelle, we're going to do a blind tasting of some of the nation's favourite foods, only with a difference. You're going to tell me which ones are vegan and which ones are not vegan.
Easy.
Starting with the hors d'oeuvre, which is chicken nuggets. Which one is non-chicken nuggets and which one is chicken nuggets?
Oh, it's obvious, surely.
That's the chicken nugget.
That's the chicken nugget, and this is...
I don't know what those.
I've eaten a lot of chicken nuggets in my time. They are chicken nuggets.
So we don't agree.
Michelle is right, you're wrong.
Right.
Now we're going to move to the main course, which is pizza. Which one is vegan, which one is not vegan?
That's harder, but I'll say this is the vegan one.
And
I
Greg?
think that's the vegan one.
It's close to call, but yeah.
No, I don't. I think that's the vegan.
It's obviously hard to tell, but Greg is right, that's the vegan pizza.
Well done, Greg.
Lastly, you're rounding off your meal with some delicious
I wouldn't
cheese.
eat either of them, by the way. Right, now you.
Do they taste different?
Yeah, that's cheese.
That's cheese.
You're both right. They did very well. Thank you so much for coming to Rachel's Kitchen. So the takeaway from that for me was, I mean, some of it may look like chicken nuggets and be vegan nuggets, but it wasn't all bad, was it?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what chicken
it
nuggets
depends
taste
whether.
like. He doesn't know
Well,
what
it
chicken
depends
nuggets
whether
taste like.
I thought it was all bad, but both the chicken nuggets and the non-chicken nugget. What I
you
discovered,
couldn't tell the difference, is
what
the
I
point.
I couldn't tell the difference. What I discovered was what an expert you are on chicken nuggets, which
Yeah,
I
damn
didn't know.
right I am, yes. And I couldn't believe it. We both tried chicken nuggets. He couldn't even taste which one was chicken in a chicken nugget. That to me tells me how posh you are, young man.
Oh, well, you weren't so good on the pizza, though, were
This
you?
is
Let's
true. What
face
about
it.
you?
I was just going to say, the world doesn't have to go vegan or vegetarian. Moderation is the key.
So you're a flexitarian.
I eat everything in large quantities.
That's an omnivore.
But if we moderated what we ate in terms of meat just by a little bit, it would cut greenhouse gas
Yes.
emissions by 70%.
Yeah.
If we cut out things like processed food and snacks and animal products, you would cut them by 45%, which is exactly what we need. But we can't be demonising livestock when upping the demand for crops is going to require more herbicides, more pesticides, more fungicides, everything that's going to pollute the environment. So it is moderation.
There's an ecosystem.
And I fear, and I'll shut up in a minute, but I fear in this country we have a massive problem with food anyway. We have a massive obesity rate. People don't take the time and the trouble to take care of their diets. And so how do we think that they're going to go on a vegan diet? And let's point at the fact here, there's only 600,000 in the UK, which is less than 1% of the population. How do we think they're going to do that? It's very complex to make sure they get all their nutrients, vitamin B12, which are vital, iron, which is vital.
Protein.
If they can't be bothered
I'm
to get fat.
afraid I don't find calorie deficiency the main problem
It's not
that
calorie
besets
deficiency,
either
it's what you eat.
this country or the
Can
world.
I
Well,
also
I do
just
most of the cooking in our
That's-
house. I do
oh,
most
yeah.
of the cooking in our house, and my dread is that someone's coming and they phone up and say
they're
they're
vegan.
vegan. It is one of the greatest.
June,
I think all vegans should go into room 101.
I don't think
great
I could.
sausage roll.
I don't think I could be a true vegan. But
No,
if I
neither
was
could I.
honest, I think I would have to be
Yeah.
vegetarian.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, I like the whole 5-day-a-week movement, which is you're vegan for 5 days and then you eat meat at the weekends. I think that's a really good way of doing
Well,
it.
this has led to an incredible spike in the demand for vegan products
It
at
has.
supermarkets, and also the rollout of vegan products. in
Totally.
supermarkets.
But can I, sorry, just one thing to add to what you've just said, Rachel. I think the other problem is it's a bit too female-centric at the moment. You're talking
It
about
is
the men in your home feeling that they
Yes.
can't eat anything in your fridge. And I think we have to figure out a way to bring men around to the vegan movement. Because if you look at the stats, in the UK, 36%, only 36% of vegans are men and 64% women.
This is what happens at home. Is I
Yeah.
will produce a lovely, leafy, crunchy thing, and then
Delicious.
my husband will go to the fridge and get some frankfurters out and put it on top.
But there was a BBC food programme actually called Truth or Scare, and it was talking about if you don't get the combos right in vegetarian and vegan diets, it can affect kids hugely. It can impact on their growth. It can impact on their intellectual development. So you have to be right across your food and devoted 400%
Well, hold on,
to
athletes.
getting it right.
Many athletes are turning to veganism. Michelle, haven't you got?
Well, I love the
Bill
way you say
Clinton,
athlete.
you're
You're
an
an athlete
athlete.
to me, yes.
You're an
The athlete
athlete.
that is
Clinton is a
Michelle
vegan.
You
Dubrow.
live on chocolate and alcohol.
Should we hear from a vegan, by the way?
The great thing about the movement today is you no longer feel like the odd one out. You no longer feel like you're annoying everyone if you're that one vegan in the group, because often you're no longer the one vegan in the group. That's really helped people embrace the vegan lifestyle and focus on everything that they're gaining as opposed to what they're having to give up on. But veganism is properly in the mainstream now. I mean, the wealth of knowledge around the ethics and the environmental impact of animal agriculture, as well as just how nutritious a vegan diet can be, is really widely accessible.
I think
I was just going to say, sorry.
it's all right. I was going to say, I think good for her. If she's made that choice and she's following it, good for her.
Yeah, but can't you
it's
just
not
hear
for me.
all the blokes sitting around looking at her and thinking she needs a good steak?
I didn't know what you were going to say there.
There's a guy called Dave Vince who bought a football club, and he's been very successful. It's called Forest Green Rovers, but he insisted that the only food served there is vegan food.
Yeah.
And how's it working?
Well, we interviewed a couple of fans.
But I think there should be a choice.
I feel like it's pushed upon you, but it is a bit interesting, isn't it? But each to their own. It's his club. He wants to run it how he wants to run it, really.
Makes us different, I suppose, doesn't it? Everybody talks about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would go down too well in Brentford, I've got to tell you.
I don't think it's going down well there. Anyway, before we go, there's just time for this. This week, Sky News broadcast the world's first live TV news bulletin from under the sea. How impressive. Presenters Anna Botting and Mark Austin descended 250 metres below the Indian Ocean, exploring underwater life in a mini submarine fitted with cameras to draw attention to the plight of the world's oceans. It's quite spectacular. Take a look at this.
It is science, it is exploration, it is adventure, all combined, and has never been done before on a live television programme. This is a world first.
Our current depth is 443 feet. Our heading is 190 degrees. Life support systems are good.
So you never know quite what you're going to see. All above us, it gets more and more blue. Down beneath us, it's like a murky brown colour. It looks very, very forbidding, I have to say.
It is an alien yet amazing world down below, unnerving but exhilarating. And then there was the small issue of broadcasting live while down there.
I've broadcast from some pretty remote and amazing places in my time, but none quite so remote or amazing as this. It is quite unnerving in some ways. It's like a moonscape at the bottom of the sea. At this depth, there's barely a glimmer of sunlight. What you're seeing are the lights of the submersible.
The ocean is the place where 94% of life on this planet exists. Reason enough maybe to protect the sea, the coral it contains, and those that depend on it.
That's amazing, and perhaps that's why we should become vegan, because just to protect that.
Aren't you jealous of them doing that
Yeah.
job? I am so
Can we
jealous.
do a pledge from under the sea?
Oh, why not?
I love scuba diving, and I find being under the water and
calm.
right at the bottom so peaceful, and it is a different world. That's beautiful.
Beautiful, amazing.